Hey guys, welcome back to Tasmania TV. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my experience traveling to Los Angeles. It's been a week now, almost, since we got home. And yeah, I figured I'd summarize everything for you guys, especially if you don't follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, because I've made a bunch of posts there already. But here on YouTube, I just thought that I would sum up the entire trip and yeah, talk about how I experienced everything and stuff like that. My husband, my brother, and his wife, and myself booked this trip. Was it last summer? So a while back. And we'd been talking about it for a while before that. My brother and his wife have been to Los Angeles before, and they fell in love with everything there and felt that it would be a fun thing for the four of us to do together because we do share an interest in movies, for instance. So we chose the date based on the fact that the huge punk festival, LA Punk Invasion, was taking place during this weekend, and we really wanted to go to that. But also another thing that we prepared for in advance was the fact that we were going to Universal Studios. And I was really excited about that. I'll get all into that in a second. So those were the only two solid plans we had for the trip. We were only there for a week, so we didn't want to book things for every single day. We wanted to have time to just walk around and be spontaneous about stuff. Los Angeles is 8 hours after Stockholm, where I live. So we were constantly going back and forth, wait, what time is it at home? What day is it at home? That stuff is weird. I've never been to the US before, so this was kind of a big deal for me. And it did get a little overwhelming at times, honestly, when we were there. I mean, just the flight there was really fucking long, and everything is so big in America. Sweden feels very, very tiny. Just flying in over Los Angeles, the city is huge, massive. So yeah, it could be a little bit overwhelming, but in a cool way at the same time. So we arrived on Thursday night and had no plans at all for Thursday night because we were so freaking tired after the journey, obviously. I have to say the jet lag was not that bad going there, but then coming home was a whole other story. But yeah, so we arrived Thursday night. We took an Uber to the hotel from the airport. We Ubered everywhere, by the way. And then we just went for a little walk around Hollywood Boulevard, which was just around the corner from our hotel. We wanted to be smack down in the middle of Hollywood. And we found some place to have dinner, and then we just went back to the hotel and crashed because we were so freaking tired. So the first night we didn't really do much. But then Friday was the pre-gig for the LA Punk Invasion Festival, which was during the Saturday. So Friday we did some random fun stuff during the day, like walking around, eating lunch, just looking at some shops, stuff like that. And then we went to the pre-gig during the evening. I met up with a bunch of my brother's and his wife's friends from England who traveled here to go to the festival as well. So that was fun. The prices were insane at the venue, both for Friday and for Saturday. A beer was $17 or $18 plus tips. It's fucking crazy prices at the venues. But then if you went to a supermarket and wanted to buy alcohol, it was really cheap. So where's the balance, man? And then Saturday was the day of the LA Punk Invasion Festival. So that was the main focus for Saturday. We did have time to do some stuff during the day, like have lunch and things like that. But then the festival started, I want to say at 3 in the afternoon, maybe a little bit earlier than that. And we missed the first couple of bands because we were eating at a restaurant nearby. But then we were there from 3 or 4. I can't remember, sorry. And then I think me and Matthias gave up around 11 at night because we were so freaking tired. You were still jet lagged. Remember, this is day 2. We were so tired. But the festival was awesome. It was great fun. It was held at these two theater buildings, the Mayan and the Velasco, which were in downtown Los Angeles. And that was really cool. A really cool venue for a punk festival. Pretty unexpected. But I like that you had the theater seats if you wanted to sit down for a little bit and have a beer and just watch the show. But if you want to be down in the mosh pit, obviously you were able to do that as well. So there were 4 scenes all in total, and 3 of them were at the Velasco, and then 1 was at the Mayan, if I remember correctly. So that was Saturday, which was great. And then on Sunday we had kind of a slower day, got a slower start. Me and my husband went to Target. There was one just around the corner from our hotel, and looked at a bunch of stuff. I've never been to a Target before, obviously, because I haven't been to America before, so that was fun. And also like checking out some chains that you've seen in movies and stuff that aren't available in Sweden was pretty fun in general. Like we went to a Denny's for breakfast, for instance. We shopped at a Ralph's a bunch of times. That's where I found my little pickle salt bottles, which is like my new religion. They're so awesome. And the chiladas. Yeah, if you see me on Instagram, you saw that every single day was a new chilada day. This is like a fruit and chili flavored beer. Delicious and refreshing, and they come in a bunch of different flavors, so I had like one every single day. So yeah, that was Sunday. We did check out some stuff later during the evening. We had dinner together, stuff like that. But then Monday, the big day, my favorite day of the entire trip, Universal Studios. Holy shit. I don't even know like how to explain that. That was a very, very emotional day for me. Universal Studios was amazing. And the very first thing we did was go to Springfield, the Simpsons town, and go on the Simpsons ride. And that was such a great way to start the whole thing because it was just crazy fun. We were just laughing our asses off the entire time. And then after that, we went on to do the classic studio rides. So you're driven all around the actual studios at Universal, which was pretty fucking cool. I mean, you get to see like familiar sets from TV shows and movies, which was awesome. For instance, Jaws, there was a sort of built-in ride for King Kong, which was amazing. The entire van was just shaking, and then we were being attacked all around, like again with the huge 3D screens. That's such a clever way to set things up. I wish we did more of that stuff here in Sweden because it's really awesome and interactive, and it really feels like you're there. So it was very well done. Yes, we took the studio tour and lots of cool stuff to see there. I was so pleased that I managed to snap a shot of Jaws attacking our van as we drove by. Yeah, but so much else fun stuff there as well. But then after the studio tour, we started getting hungry, and unfortunately there was some kind of error in the main kitchen at Universal that day. So every single restaurant on the top level of the park were closed for the entire day. Oh, which meant we didn't get to go to Moe's bar. We didn't get to go to like the tavern in the Harry Potter world. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I felt really sad about that because I really wanted to, you know, grab a Duff beer at Moe's. But so we went down to the second level where there was a bunch of restaurants. So we got some food and some beer, and we felt better because you were a little upset that a lot of stuff was closed on the main level. Not the rides, but like the restaurants, because everything is connected to like a main kitchen in the middle. And so if that doesn't work, you don't have any restaurants. Oh, I also have to say that the weather was shit for the first couple of days when we were there. First day was like 11 degrees Celsius and raining. Freezing cold, like same weather that we had here in Sweden. And then during the Monday when we were at Universal, it was sunny at first, then a little bit of rain, but then it got better. And then for the rest of the trip, it was like 20, 25 Celsius and just sunny. So the rest of the weather was fantastic. Anyway, back to Universal. So we had some lunch, and then at the second level, we went to Jurassic World. And I am a Jurassic fan, okay? I love Jurassic Park. I love the original movies. I love the world's new ones. They're awesome. I was wearing my Jurassic Park t-shirt the entire day during the Universal visit. And this was like one of those times when I got really emotional because I've been dreaming about this for so long. And we got VIP passes, by the way, or whatever you call them, priority passes, when you get to just like bypass the line the entire time. So worth it to pay that little extra amount to not have to stand in line, because the waiting time for the Jurassic ride was 80 minutes. And we were just like, la 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 la, leader suckers. Yeah. So that meant that we actually got to go on every single ride that we wanted to go on during the day. We had time for that because we only had one day at Universal. Yeah, so the Jurassic Park ride was crazy, and it was on water. So a lot of people in the line had been there before, and they were wearing like these like rain covers. We didn't think about that at all. We were like, no, it's probably just going to be a little splash like in the Simpsons ride. Oh boy, it was not. So the entire ride is on water. You're in this huge like boat thingy. And it starts off, you pass through these classic doors and you hear the music, and I started crying right away because it was so emotional for me. And then there are dinosaurs left and right, the sweet ones, the scary ones, the ones that spit on you. One of those nasty spitters spat me like right in the face, which was gross and hilarious at the same time. And then the sort of setup for the whole ride is that there's an Indominus Rex on the loose, and it's somewhere in the park. And towards the end of the ride, it's right above you. Like the head comes down with that huge mouth. You feel like you're gonna be eaten. And while you're looking at that, a gigantic T-Rex comes at you from the other side. So you're like this, you feel so tiny, and they're so well made. It feels super real. And then they just kind of drop you down this huge waterfall at the end. So everyone's like screaming and getting splashed. Oh, it was amazing. Amazing. 10 out of 10. And then there was a bar in the Jurassic Park area where they did these like Jurassic tiki drinks. So my husband got us two with these like takeaway mugs that I absolutely love that are in the shopping haul that you'll see at the end of this video. So yeah, we had some tiki drinks, like came down from the high that was that ride, and then we immediately went on to ride the mummy ride, which was so much fun. That was like a classic roller coaster in a way. It was completely dark, and then like shots of light whenever some mummies appeared. After that we went into Super Nintendo Land. That was so beautifully made. Everything, like all the details, you felt like you were inside Mario's world, and it was awesome. I was just like, again, like a kid, blown away with all the details. The ride was a Mario Kart ride. This was not my favorite. For one, it was so popular. Like even with the priority passes, it still took forever to get to the ride itself. So there were different rooms, like different sections of different waiting areas. So when you get through one door, there was another one. You never really got to the end. So it took a long ass time to finally get to the ride. And then when we did get to the ride, it was fun, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. I did like the fact that you were able to like control the vehicle and shoot your little like banana peels and whatnot. But just a little disappointed with the ride itself. It could have been more fun and more like a ride. You're just like slowly moving around a track, and then things were happening because you were wearing these goggles and you can see stuff. So it was okay, but it was not fantastic. What was fantastic though, again, was the world and the details and the build like that went into that. So A+ for that, but like on the ride itself. So after that we had some beer, like again came down from that high, and then we went back up to the main level. And it was time to enter the world of Harry Potter. Now this became very emotional for me because I love Harry Potter, okay? I'm currently rewatching movies again for like the gazillionth time because of this. So that world was again so beautifully built. You have like the Hogsmeade Village, which is what you walk into basically at the start. You have the Hogwarts Express train. You have all these little shops that exist in the world. And then they've actually built the entire freaking Hogwarts castle. Like it's huge. I couldn't even wrap my mind around how huge it was at first. And then the first thing we did was go on this one ride that was the Flight of the Hippogriff, which was more of a cute, kid-friendly roller coaster. And you got to see Buckbeak, who's so cute. So that was fun. But then we went into the castle, which was where the Forbidden Journey was. And that was my favorite ride of all time. Like all of the theme parks that I've ever been in my entire life, this was the best one. I was so emotional from this. I was so excited and I cried. Like afterwards, I could not stop crying. I was so happy. And it was long, like it lasted a long ass time. So you're seated 4 people in one of these, like where you sit and your legs are free. So you can be tossed around, which I love. So the whole setup was that you're basically flying, and you're flying through Hogwarts, and you're seeing different scenes from the movie, like you're being chased by a dragon, you're at the Quidditch match, you're flying with Harry and Hermione and Ron. And my favorite part of the whole thing was when things got really dark, and I knew that we were going to be faced with that huge ass spider Aragog. It just came from nowhere, and then there were like huge spiders prickling down from the ceiling. Amazing. 15 out of 10. Like the best experience ever. I was so happy. Just, best freaking ride ever. And we visited all of the shops, obviously, as well, but I didn't actually buy any Harry Potter merch. I kind of wanted to buy the Marauders map because it was very nicely done, but then I'd have to carry that around for the rest of the rides and stuff, so I didn't actually do that. But we do sell those here in Sweden as well. There's a sci-fi bookshop in town here in Stockholm that I'm pretty sure sells that, so I can still get it if I want to. After that, we went on the Minions ride, which was a lot of fun. Then we checked out the Life of Pets. We had another beer, walked around, checked out a bunch of shops, and then it was the end of the day. Like, we came there when they opened at 10, and then we left when they closed at 7. So we checked out as much of it as we could. And I think the only thing that I actually bought at Universal Studios, other than the tiki cups that my husband got, was a Funko Pop figure, and I'll show that at the end when I do the little haul. So after Universal, we took an Uber straight to a restaurant that we wanted to check out, which was this like barbecue place with a mechanical bull and everything, which was pretty cool. We got to see one person ride it like a goddamn pro. Food was great. And everything, but we were just so tired from Universal, so we just kind of, yeah, packed it in early that day. And then for the rest of the week, we had like spontaneous stuff. So we checked out Rainbow Bar, which is the Lemmy place. That was for my husband because he is a Lemmy fan. We took some photos with the statue of Lemmy and purchased some merchandise there as well. They had a bunch of it. I finally got to go to Hot Topic, which is a store that I've wanted to visit since forever. And yeah, I did buy a couple of things there, but no clothing, just like smaller bits and bobs. And then we went to a bunch of different stores, like, yeah, I can't even remember everything, but there was a rock shop and Rock Town, I think, like side by side. They had a bunch of cool stuff. I went in there a bunch of times. For instance, bought a pair of shoes that I love and that I will show you at the end of this video. We went to Mel's Bar a bunch of times. My brother and his wife have a connection to that bar from before, and it was just a really nice place with like reasonably priced stuff. So we hung out there a bunch of times during the week, both for dinner and just for drinks and just for just relaxing in between stuff. Oh, we also had lunch at, Danny Trejo's taco restaurant, which was awesome. We checked out Amoeba Records. We checked out this huge vintage clothing store, or me and my brother's wife did while the boys were checking out the record store. We went to Ripley's Believe It or Not, which was awesome. Lots of cool stuff to check out there. I crawled around in this little box thingy. I love places like that. So that was just a great price and you got a lot out of it. And then we also went to the Hollywood Museum, which was door to door with Mel's. And you got to see like actual clothing from a lot of movie sets, which was so cool. You got to see traditional makeup and the way that used to look. The basement is all like horror focused, which was awesome as well. And yeah, had lunch and dinner and drinks at a bunch of fun places. So we kind of just went spontaneous for the rest of the trip. And then it got prolonged with 12 hours, so an extra half a day. Because our flight was canceled. And the hotel was fully booked after we checked out, so we had to get a second hotel. And since the new flight was changed to early in the morning, we booked a hotel just by the airport. So we went to the Hilton Hotel, which was lovely, and we were so tired then that we basically just had dinner and then went to bed. So we didn't really get to enjoy that as much. They had a pool and everything, but that was okay. Our hotel had a pool as well, and we did get to enjoy that because the weather was awesome. Sorry about the drilling sounds. I can't do anything about that. That was a little bit about what we did. Now, my all-in-all impression, for one, like I said, it was very overwhelming. Everything is quite different to Sweden. Obviously, it's a lot bigger. So that was one thing. But then also, there was a lot of highs and lows, really. Not for us. Like, we had a great experience and everybody treated us fantastically everywhere we got. But then there's a lot of misery in downtown Hollywood, where we spend most of the time. Like, we did go into LA a couple of times, like I said, but we spent most of the time in Hollywood and around Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset because, well, that's where a lot of the stuff that we wanted to see was located. But there's a lot of drugs, a lot of homeless people, a lot of misery, and it's right in your face. For instance, I wanted to check out Christina Ricci is one of my favorite actors. I've had a crush on her since I was like 12. And she just got her star like 2 weeks before we got there on Hollywood Boulevard. And I wanted to check that out. But the first time we passed by there was a passed out homeless person on top of the star. So, that kind of thing, it's very in your face. And there are tents everywhere. Yeah, it makes you sad. Makes you feel very privileged that you can afford to go on journeys and do pretty much wherever you want. So yeah. Okay, and it was a completely like cash-free trip for us. We didn't need to bring any cash at all, which just made it super easy. I hate exchanging money. It just takes time and you always have a bunch of it left over at the end. But just use our cards everywhere. And like I said, we used Uber for everything, which just made it super, super simple and comfortable. So all in all, it was a really great trip. We did have some mishaps, like our trips getting canceled and rebooked, both for the trip there and back, which was annoying. It kind of delayed everything, and we did get jet lagged when we got home. My husband just now, like a week after, is back to his normal sleeping routine. So that messed some things up, and it was a bummer that all the restaurants on the upper level of Universal were closed. So we did have some like wah-wah moments, but for the most of it, it was a really fun, great trip. People might want to know like about the food and stuff. The food was good, but we didn't have any like fantastic experiences. But that might just be because we didn't go to any like super specific restaurants. Never had any food that was bad, but just yeah, it was good. It was okay. But it was a lot. Like every single meal was a huge portion. I can't eat all that food. And then there's like always 2 sides. I don't need 2 kinds of potatoes. Just give me like 1 kind of potato and a sauce. We're sauce people in Scandinavia. I need a sauce with my steak, you know? So to finish this video off, I'm gonna do a little haul of all the things that I purchased and yeah, just show you what I got. And this lipstick is one of the things that I got at Hot Topic. At Target, I bought mainly t-shirts, like from the boys department, because I am a Marvel fan and they had a bunch of different t-shirts. So a couple of Spider-Man t-shirts and an Avengers t-shirt, and then this Alice in Wonderland themed t-shirt. So yeah, that was great fun, and they were reasonably priced. I think they were between $8 and $14, which is good. This oversized white Spider-Man tee is something that I wore a lot during this day in Los Angeles. I also got some Stitch slippers. I know the new Lilo and Stitch movie is coming out soon. Those were mainly because the floors of our hotel room were freezing cold, so I just got those because they were cute and kept me warm at the hotel. From Hot Topic, I got a couple of things, like I said. First of all, I got this lovely, fluffy leopard print belt, which is a fun, easy, simple accessory. For some reason, I didn't have a leopard print belt before. You'd think I would, but I did not. And then I got a nail polish, which is like a black with a purple sheer in a skull bottle, obviously. And then I got 2 lippies. First, a matte lip cream in this beautiful red color. And that's what I'm wearing today, and I absolutely love it. I love the packaging. It's so magical. It looks like an elixir. Beautiful. And then I also got this like blue glittery Alice in Wonderland lip gloss. They had a buy 4 get 1 free, so that's why I bought 4 items. And then I got the tiki glasses from Universal, or my husband got the tiki glasses from Universal. I love those. We brought those home. And then I got 3 Funko Pop figurines. I got Sam from Trick or Treat. I got Winifred from Hocus Pocus. And I got the Martian lady from Mars Attacks. And then from Lemmy's place, we got these shot glasses that were awesome. And I also got a t-shirt and a beanie for my husband. I don't have them in the shot here, but here they are in the catalog. From Ralph's, I found Harry Potter Butterbeer Goldfish crackers. They were so cute, I just had to have them. And I also bought a bunch of these, like, pickled beer salt. They're called Twang, and they're so delicious, and they're super delicious with my favorite tequila. And then at one of the rock shops, I found these amazing shoes, and they're from Demonia. They're basically like Converse style boots, but chunkier. I love chunky Converse style boots, and they have these cool details, a lot of straps, but not straps that you need to unbutton to be able to put them on because they have zippers. So like the best epic boot ever. I was really pleased with those. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my trip to Los Angeles. If you want to see more shots of things that we did, just head to my Instagram or Facebook, because I posted every single day. Thank you again for watching, and remember, do no harm, but take no shit. I'll see you next time.